Well, unfortunately, the wind is picking up even more. It's a gust up to 40, 45. It's a windy day for gun reviews. But this is the 12 gauge Weatherby Element 2 Tungsten model. They have several models, as you can check out on their website. This has tungsten colored gray Cerakote on the receiver and the barrel. Once again, Cryo Plus chokes. You get three. One is an extended choke. The other two are flush. This has a synthetic stock. There's a little rubber cheek piece here. It's not very squishy. It's there. I don't think it does much of anything. I guess some would say it looks kind of cool. The grip is bigger on this. Noticeably bigger than the 12 gauge Element I tested 9.5 years ago, 10 years ago, something like that. So it's bigger. Safety's bigger. Once again, bigger controls. So let's test the trigger again. So again, my trusty lineman, and we'll see what kind of trigger break we get on the 12 gauge. £4, 9.9 ounces. So Weatherby has certainly spec'd in lighter triggers on their Element, because that's one thing I didn't like about the original Element is very, very heavy triggers. So we're a little over 4.5 pounds, which is pretty good. We'll see if that's fairly consistent or not. Oh, this one says 5.3. But and this one is 5. So I haven't shot it yet. It might lighten slightly. So I'm just going to call it roughly a 5-pound trigger, but it's not been fired yet. So will it cycle with light loads? These are Fiocchi, 1 ounce, 1250 feet per second. That's as light as I would ever use. This gun's not been fired yet. So we'll see if it handles 1 ounce loads. And these are not fast 1 ounce loads. Kicks them out right out of the box. So that's good. That's all anybody can really ask for. If a hunting gun cycles 1 ounce 1250 loads, that's terrific. And we have paper set up. So too much wind obviously should blow the patterns to the left. Paper set up at 32 yards, fresh shoot and see, easy for me to say. And let's see if it gets anywhere close to point of aim. Sorry folks, this wind is getting nasty. Way too nasty to do any quality patterning work. But you play the hand you're dealt. So yeah, again, we're right at 50-50, which is great. And blowing the pattern to the left, as you would expect with a 20 to 25 mile an hour crosswind. So the element 2s shoot where you point them, and that's a good thing. So this is the 12 gauge, and it weighs about 7 pounds 5 ounces, a little over 7¼ pounds. I'd call this a little heavy for chasing pheasants or quail. Use the 20 gauge for that. But it's a nice job, Weatherby. I don't have anything to complain about. Same green bead on front, goes where you point it. Loading is easy. Cycling is excellent. Again, my only niggle is the wacky recoil pad. You can see it's a strange curved recoil pad, and it seems to work just fine, but it's going to be very, very hard to replace with the standard flat recoil pad. So that is one thing I wish Weatherby would change. Easy for me to say. They'd have to probably have to pay for a brand new buttstock mold or modify the existing mold. I don't know. So I don't understand the wacky recoil pad syndrome. Franke Affinities have horrible factory recoil pads, and that's an objection I've always had to them. So if it's anything than a normal flat recoil pad, I don't care who does it. I just really generally don't care for it. This gun, I think, sticker is $6.99. Dealer sets the price. It'll be less than that. So again, Cryo Plus chokes. It will accept extended magazines. It's got the castellated nut, so it's a tool-free mainspring removal. And as best as my sometimes borderline good memory works, I think the trigger guard is a little bit bigger here too. Slightly larger safety, at least easier to get off. Bigger trigger guard, obviously the oversized controls. Up to a point, they're not garish, but for a waterfowl hunter, you're going to grab this and go. So, Cerakote looks good. Nice and evenly applied. So, again, except for the recoil pad, I think Weatherby got everything just about right. No rattle bolt. And the trigger, I'm going to try the trigger again, now that I've shot it just a couple times. That's about a 5-pound trigger. So that's 3 pulls right at 5 pounds. The 20 gauge is lighter at about 4.5. So a 5-pound trigger, certainly lighter than the gun, and better than most. You know, the 6 to 7 pound trigger is very, very common. So that's what it is, 5 pounds. And I don't feel any sand or grit or take up. So yeah, frozen hands, good waterfowl hunting trigger. Personally, picky guy that I am, yeah, I like a nice crisp 4 to 4.25 pound trigger, period, for hunting shotguns. But excellent job. Everybody's going to love the price in 2025. And all the element 2s, 5-year warranty. Weatherby's doing a great job out in Sheridan, Wyoming. And Kyle and the gang out there, they're doing a lot of hunting and a lot of shooting. So it's not just moving boxes. They do a lot of testing and a lot of design work. Although in this case, the actual manufacturing of the gun is done by Atta in Turkey. And you just can't compete with cost of production in Turkey in the United States. Or Italy or Germany or anywhere else. But great gun. Like I said, it's so many Turkish guns. They come, they go, and that's a problem. They have promise, they have potential, but then they're gone. And I've tested a pile of them over the years. Actually, the Gerson 12 gauges that I tested functionally were very good, but Gerson's more or less vanished, and there's no support, no nothing. Same way Impala Plus. You know, they rumored or threatened a 20 gauge, nothing. So they just kind of vanished. They just don't have the distribution and you know, customer service, no nothing going on. And of course, problems with Rite, cycling, and they started out with $750 guns and then doubled the prices on the entire line. And it's just too much to pay for a Turkish gun. So if you're outfitting your family, you want a backup gun, and the budget says, you know, $600. That's, you know, these are going to, depending on the model, you're looking at the $600 area or so. Great way to go, because I don't see anything as far as reliability that's a problem. Basic functionality, ease of loading, and they shoot to point of aim. So you want to spend $2,000 on something that shoots a mile high into the left, you're not going to be happy. Something like this, it's hard not to be happy. So the original Weatherby elements that I tested really did have heavy triggers. I liked the gun. There were never any functional problems, but the heavy triggers and the dinky safety, that's what stopped me from picking them up for myself. But that's been resolved here. So that's it for now. Get some better range conditions. We'll do a lot more, but the wind isn't helping anything at all. So great job by Weatherby. We'll see you later.